Here we go. So, welcome to our Unfinished Friday. I think there may be a couple new people on. That's awesome. Welcome. As you see behind me, when I had to go and find a place in my house to office out of, this just felt like the best place, and it's really turned into something more because I tried to like hide the background, but I've kind of embraced it. So I call this Unfinished Friday because of my unfinished basement part of my house, but also we're all unfinished, and so we're all trying to get better. We're trying to grow. We're trying to help each other. Um, and so today we're um, we're going to get to hear from Brett, and I'm super excited that he's on today and that he's carved out some time for us. And so we're just going to jump right in. So if y'all can make sure you're muted, I think everybody is. But I'm actually gonna just start Brett off with a question here, and um, as for those of you that don't know, Brett Boyer is the CEO of Centersphere, one of the original founders of Centersphere. So we're all grateful that he decided to take on that venture. But really, what I wanted to ask today is just get some of his advice about someone that's starting a company, involved in leadership. Maybe they're involved in a leadership in a company in a new venture. So what advice would you give to someone who's thinking about starting a new company, a new venture, or jumping into some leadership role with a company like that?
That's funny because I wrote down about 5 points. I was hoping you would ask that question. Um, Perfect. It's amazing how it works sometimes. I will jump into that, but 1 second. I see a lot of Centersphere t-shirts on this call. How many of you are wearing a Centersphere t-shirt? How many of you don't have a Centersphere t-shirt and would like one? All right. Because we're on Unfinished Friday and you took some time, we'll send you out one if you can give Aaron your mailing addresses, okay? And sizes are good too. So yeah, we'll take care of that for you guys. So thanks for hopping on. One of my favorite things in the world to do is talk with startup ventures, help consult with them if they want my consultation. But I've been a part of many startups myself. Founded a few different companies, and some very successful, some very unsuccessful. Kind of a serial entrepreneur. But a few things that I've learned along the way that have cost a lot of time and money, energy, all that stuff. I think even if it's not a startup, if it's uh, a newer venture, even or even if it's a long-term business, there are maybe things that I can say that you could implement wherever you are in your journey. So whether it's your company or again you're involved in leadership, I think that knowing these few things would definitely be helpful. And again, you don't have to learn the mistakes yourselves. It's already been done, and so hopefully you can learn from other people's mistakes. And so the first thing that I do whenever I'm starting a new venture or have in the past is I find a mentor, right? Um, not a mentor that is my life mentor necessarily, right? A mentor that has been there, done that in business, that has been or done where I'm going or want to go, and also has the same values as I do, right? That's probably the most important thing, in my opinion, is finding that mentor with the same values. If you have a mentor, you're going to adhere to what they say often, and if they're telling you to go against your values, I would highly question that relationship, and maybe find somebody new. I think it's my second point that I actually wrote down was stay true to your own values. Something that you really have to stand on. You're going to be tempted to stray from your values at some point, to do something that feels unethical, maybe to make some extra money, maybe to get ahead faster, do something bigger and better. But if it feels uncomfortable and it goes against your values, your beliefs, um, just stick to them. You'll always come out ahead. I promise you. I'll give you a quick example. I used to be in mortgages. Again, I wasn't running the company. I wasn't in management. I was just a mortgage loan officer for a big company. And I had a really good mentor. She's actually one of my best friends. She actually lives in Lincoln. I see a lot of Lincolnites here. She lives in Denton, actually, on a little plot out there. But she was a really good manager, a good mentor. And we had a bunch of loan officers in the office that came from a different company. And in my opinion, they were really raking people, right? They were really doing a lot of extra stuff, putting a lot of extra fees, all this sort of thing. And it just never felt comfortable for me. Maybe they would make a bunch more money than I did on loans and whatnot, but I stayed true to my values, and I wanted to really help people, even though I would see them making X amount of dollars and I would make X amount less on mortgages. And in turn, it propelled me to, they wouldn't get referrals, right? Like mortgages are it's not a business that you get a lot of repeat business, right? So you depend on referrals, and they wouldn't get referrals, but I got so many referrals flooded to me because I treated people right. And I ended up becoming the #1 loan officer in the whole nation, out of Omaha, which is nutty because my average loan size was like $100,000 and I was competing with people in New York and California. So I just say that as it was hard as a young kid. I moved to Omaha with nothing, and I saw these people making more money, and I'm like, man, I could fudge this just a little bit, make a little more money. But I stayed true to my values, and I felt like that's really something that I took to heart in everything that I've done, and it's treated me well thus far. So I encourage you to do that always. The other thing I would say is, whenever you're starting a business, make sure you're doing it for anything but the money. Okay. I firmly believe, and if you've ever heard me talk about business or anything, I firmly believe that money comes from doing the right thing over and over and over again. The quick hits, the one hit wonders, everything like that. There's a time and a place for that, I'm sure, but I would go into business or a startup doing it for any reason but the money. If you're solving a problem, you're going to be just fine. In any business I've ever done, I felt like I needed to fill a void or solve a problem that wasn't already there. And that's just proven very, very good for myself and my partners in the most cases. And I just feel like even with Centersphere, we were filling a void. There's a lot of networking companies out there, a lot of networking groups, a lot of networking platforms. And I just feel like we filled some voids with that, and we're able to move forward, and it just starts with people. So I would always just tell everybody to definitely don't do it for the money. The money will come, because the reason I wouldn't do it for money is you're going to get frustrated, because everything, my fourth piece of advice is understand that it's going to take twice as long and twice as much money. Okay. And I'm not kidding. Somebody told me that when I first started my first business, and I was kind of laughing at them, right? Like, I've already penciled this out. I know how to make money, and it is twice as long and twice as much investment. Okay. Just always know that going into it. If you know that and it happens to come out quicker and faster and stronger for you, congratulations. And I want to read your book. Okay. So it's kind of a rule of thumb, and it always has proven true for me. So the other thing that I always tell everybody is, from the beginning, you're going to have to spend money, right? And make sure you're spending in the right areas. The two biggest partners that you can have that aren't going to own any part of your company is a good attorney and a good accountant. Okay. You're going to need both, and they will all save you lots of time and money if you hire the right ones. So seek out good advice. They get paid what they get paid for a reason, and that's to keep you out of trouble and to keep you honest, right? So make sure that you do enlist those people as part of your team. Always remember that they work for you. even the attorney even works for you. So make sure you understand that it's always something they're going to give you advice. They're going to give you tough advice, but they work for you. You make the decisions ultimately. So I've ran into that issue a few times with attorneys telling me how to run my business. Well, they're not business owners, they're attorneys. So you're the business owner and take ownership of that. So my last point to this, it's so funny how your question just, I had all these written down and these ideas. That's awesome. Is to, if you aren't already, become networked, right? And become networked with the right people. That's the key. I always tell everybody, your network should be very broad, right? These don't have to be your family and your friends. They will become your friends, and some become family, right? But your network should be large. But then you should have a more of a focus group, more of a team that you're really intertwined with, really helping each other out, running the tough questions by, and whatnot, and then your mentor. So, but become networked. So many people have so much knowledge out there that there's only one way to get it, right? You either figure it out yourself or you hear it from somebody else, and it's a lot easier to hear it from somebody else. So many smart people out there. Make sure you become networked, and help them out. They'll help you out. I just think that's one thing that throughout anything I've ever done, it was always, well, who do I know that does that? Who do I trust that does that? And because I had such a vast network, I was able to handpick and choose who I was wanting to work with, who had the same values as I do, who knows somebody who has taken a company public, right? I've never taken a company public, but who knows who has? Let me pick their brain, things like that. But I think that in any business, being networked is one of the biggest things you could possibly do, and treat people fair. There you go. That's my last one. I didn't write it down, but just do what's right. Be honest, be fair, and you'll have a long-term, long-lasting business if that's what you're looking for.
Man, thanks, Brett. That was amazing. It's amazing that you knew that you had that stuff already. I mean, it's crazy.
Sometimes
it's like
must be our day.
Yeah, right. So I would love for you all to be able to ask them a question, but we don't have that kind of time. So the first one that can unmute and ask a question, Brett, you up for a question?
Let's do it. Yes, I married out of my league.
Okay, good.
Brett, will Network Navigators be continuing? We haven't, seen anything on that for a while, so I was wondering what the status was on that.
I was actually just going to ask that this afternoon on a call. I hadn't. I'm not in charge of it necessarily.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like if the Network Navigators want to continue, we want to continue.
Okay.
So I think it's a good thing. We always want to make sure that people can navigate the network, right? There's a lot being offered, and there are a lot of people that want to give advice and have the advice to give. So make people feel comfortable.
Okay.
All right. I just put in the chat my email address. Can you please email me your shirt size, your address, and I'll get that to Brett. Because if it's in the chat, I'll probably forget, and then I'll lose it when I get out of here. So email me. We'll get you a T-shirt so you can be part of the network.
Right.
Well, thanks again, Brett. I appreciate you jumping on today. This was great. Like, we could probably all sit and just kind of study this the rest of the day, and really, it really helps. It really helped me. So thank you for that. As we go forward today on this Friday, finish strong, finish well, and then take the weekend and enjoy it and decompress, put away the phone, enjoy your time hopefully with some family and friends, and we will see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.